Hey, you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you! Welcome to Bit Trip Runner 2, Future Legend of Rhythm Alien. Today, I, DeoGenZ, will be trying to trump the scoreboards. No, not really, but I will dance like a maniac, as if I was trying to get some sort of high score. I don't know what it is. You know, you put a dance button there, you put a, hey, get extra points button here, and I can't help but press it. Even though it, more times than not, leads to my demise, and that missing of gold, although that was not dancing's fault, that was just my own inability to depress my finger, or undepress my finger, I suppose is the term, from the keyboard. It feels weird. It feels strange when you can't wrap your whole hands around the controller that you're using. It's something I'm so not used to like that. You know, it just... I really, really can't wait to play this with a controller. Oh crap. Things are getting speedy. I mean, I guess... Actually, no, I don't guess, because I don't know if you can change what buttons do what on your laptop or computer. Because I was going to say, I guess you could use all the outer rim buttons on the keyboard, and then you could potentially wrap your hands around your laptop if that's what you have, or your keyboard if it's not attached. But that is very much not satisfying. Not so much. No. And remember last episode when I said we weren't going to the key vault? I lied. I'm just kidding you guys. Y'all seem to be enjoying this LP, so I figure, hey, why not run through some extra levels here? Give you the most for your viewership. Yeah, you know, that's something a lot of up-and-coming YouTubers need to consider, is that people, although they're not paying you, you should be very mindful of their time. This was also something that I completely got bass-ackwards when I was coming up through YouTube and, you know, just building my couple thousand subs that we have today. I made the mistake of thinking, oh, if they're watching the video... If they're watching the video, they've got all the time on their hands in the world, so they don't mind seeing me run through the exact same part of the level again, except with different commentary. Different commentary? Oh boy, that's like all new content. But it's not, because it's the same level, and people really don't give that much of a crap about what you have to say. Trust me, I have done a lot of soapbox talks about real-life issues, and that's why I jokingly said in the past episode of Runner that, you know, oh, what are we gamers going to do if programmers stop making games? What are we going to do? Actually complain about real-life situations? Because, I hate to tell you, anybody who's trying to get on their soapbox, not many people want to hear it. They really don't. And they will avidly switch out of your content into something else that's just more comical and keeps their attention longer and does swift edits and nice jump cuts and things like that. So... let's see. Can we nail the bullseye? You betcha! So another thing I could recommend for all those who are making LPs today and trying to be unique, and I don't want to tell you how to be unique, but I do want to pass on some information that I've been gaining from feedback in the community. I send out messages to people sometimes so I can get direct feedback, and also comments and things that I've read. And, you know, you're not just narrating what's going on. You're not just saying, look, we are running, now we are dodging. You don't want to be mechanical like that. Gotta put some expression into it! And range the vocal pitches. That's something I am personally, you know, this is all as much a reminder for myself as it is tips for the newbies, because I, too, have the monotonous voice. It sometimes gets on people's nerves, and I totally get that. Sorry if I ever venture into those territories, but I'm not always a silly Billy. I can't believe I missed that gold, too, a second time. Holy crap, the exact same spot, and I didn't get it. Oh, well, I guess my score won't change all that much. But we will be going to the normal exit instead of the alternative one. So, you're a narrator, yes, and you're a commentator, correct. But do keep in mind, these things are all dependent on one another by what the person is viewing. They're not simply tuning in to hear a podcast. Because if they did, then they would not have to sit at their computer screen every time to view what's going on, because there's an actual visual component to it. They'd pop it on their iPod or iPad and whatnot and walk around with it. But since that's not the kind of media format you're doing on YouTube, you got to keep that in mind. You got to keep people visually stimulated. I used to believe, get this, that you could have horrible graphics and barely anything going on, maybe like just one picture, and people would stay and watch your thing. Clearly, that was not the case, because that's not what I do today. Not in the least bit. Nope. It wouldn't fly. It does not fly with today's packed, oversaturated market of information. And that's not a bad thing. I think it's great that there's an oversaturation, because that means nobody can ever be bored ever again. If anybody ever tells me, "Oh, I don't know what to do, Dio, I'm so bored, this internet shit's getting old, man. I swear, I've seen every crevice of the internet, man, even the deep web." I say, nay, you have not. There is so much content being produced. Unacceptable! Sorry, guys, I have to get that plus sign. You know how it is. At least because it's early on in the level. If it was later on and I had like 2 or 3 plus signs, maybe I wouldn't care. But I do right now, so, yaha! I got it now. We're good. We're good. We can keep jumping. Not into enemies! That was a well-placed enemy. Right on, Gaijin. Right on. That was a good challenge. Good challenge. But, yeah, I mean, I think that there's so much information out there, you can't be bored. It's impossible. If you're bored on the internet, you are just, you got to take a class on the internet, like how to use Google or something, and that's totally fine. I mean, there's a generation of people who are still, like, kind of figuring out what the internet is, and I was talking to... No! I got it! Alright, paddle and jump. Yes, alright. It takes 2 to do these things right. Combination jump. Oh, I got that one with no problem. See? Practice makes perfect. Yeah, practice of like 5 or 10 different runs of this level. But hey, who cares? That's what editing's for, and that's what I'm talking about. But I was discussing that with somebody in their 40s. They were trying to turn people on to something that they're doing, and it was a really cool eco idea of using bamboo as building material. But he just doesn't know how to reach his audience. And me, being someone who lives on the internet, I very well know how to reach my audience, because, well, my audience is really my friends. I didn't intend to have a quote-unquote audience in the beginning of all this. It was really just me going from Nintendo Forum to Nintendo Forum after the main Nintendo.com forums were shut down. Shout out to anybody who participated in that. OG Nintendo Forums! But, yeah, I mean, I've been all over the web. I went to G4 and got completely trolled, and that sucked, but, it was a part of it. And, eventually, the viewership became more than just people I conversed with on forums. It became people who commented on a daily basis, and it became people who gave me feedback through PM and everything. And if I haven't gotten back to you through PM, I am very sorry. I got a couple more midterms to go, then spring break, and I should catch up on things that I need to catch up on, messages and things like that. Oh, jumping over rocks. Space rocks won't stop me! But, yeah, I mean, it is definitely an interesting change of events, the way that... No, I need that plus sign. You gotta understand, we just hit a checkpoint. It's doable! It's a different world today. It's a different world, but to think that somebody has all the time in this new world is bonkers, because of all the information that there is, why should they? That's what you should think when you're making content. Why should someone invest 10 or 15 or 30, if you're really pushing it, 30 minutes into whatever piece of content you're making? I thought as soon as I'd get partnership, what I'd be doing is like 30-minute, half-hour videos and things like that. But then I learned, based on my viewer statistics, looking at some Google Analytics and things like that, that viewer retention rates are highly malleable and minuscule. They're really ranging on 4 to 5 minutes for the longer pieces of content, because people don't have the attention span for it. So maybe that's the negative aspect of the internet. people can't focus on one thing for far too long. They need to keep moving on to Facebook and Twitter and new links all the time. But you know, I think it can be mediated within reason, and you could figure out a nice program schedule. For example, I don't watch TV anymore. I haven't watched TV probably in 5 years. Yeah, I'd say in over 5 years, because it started with podcasts. Like, I started listening to podcasts, and then I realized, you know, I'm wasting so much time with TV, and it's really just advertisements. Wow, that was close. I'm surprised they didn't have to do a slide dash there. But I'm wasting all this time watching shit that I don't really even want to see, or that barely interests me, and I'm just kind of, you know, mildly and passively accepting it because that's the only channels that are offered. But then I've discovered podcasts and realized, oh crap, there's people who talk about exactly what I want to hear. Gotta kick that thing. Ah, sneaky, sneaky! I do not like those sliding kicks. It always takes me off guard. I sometimes don't notice them because of all the action and rainbows that are going on at the screen simultaneously. But with that said, you know, podcasts completely filled up the content that I desired, and I can't believe I missed all that gold. Of all the times to not press the W button, why that time, you know? Why not a time on where we would have skipped one of the harder increments of the level? Ah, whatever. Whatever. 10 away. Not too terrible. I'll be back without recording. So I think you could completely remodel your viewing schedule based on what your favorite YouTubers are, or what your favorite podcasts are, and when things come out, because it's another part of honing your content, is letting people know that there's a schedule. If people have BitTrip Runner to depend on the weekend, then they know, get your running shoes polished and ready, because you might want to cosplay after seeing these episodes. So this Timbletot boss is, in my opinion, probably one of the harder versions of him to fight. What you have to do is just that. You have to hit back the beats towards his face as he sends down things through his pipeline of enemies and barriers to break, dodge, and jump over. Ah, can't believe I hit that one. But that's the sort of thing you gotta look out for. He's gonna make it a bit more difficult too by moving around. See, there he goes. He's gonna go on different sections of the level. Go away, Timbletot! Trying to focus here on the pattern. And the patterns are different every time, so don't take this as the only pattern he's going to throw at you. Each game that you initiate with him. Okay, that's up, down, up, BAM! Basically, you just have to know your enemy types. Those guys are going to be above, so you want to dodge low. Those are a kick. That's a droid in the background, of course. The dreaded droid throwing me the fuck off. Whoever just texted me is going to get an earful once I'm done recording. I can't believe. Don't they know? I'm trying to save the universe and kill Timbletot. This guy just does not die. I ran into him in BitTrip Fate and I explodified him, but no, he doesn't take it. He's too tough. He's too tough. Too engine well designed. He must be German engineered, you know. He's like a giant engine block, and he never breaks. So he's got to be German engineered. Those damn Germans. First Hitler, now Timbletot. What next? No, I shouldn't blame the Germans. Could have easily been made in Japan, because, you know, they have more efficient technologies. Maybe he's built of magnetic levitation engine type materials. Who knows? But what I do know is we've got another level to traverse in the next episode.